I'm Rick Thompson, and this is the Cannabis News. Let's get started. Which Michigan lawmaker said, "I continue to be opposed to the promulgation of marijuana and its usage in our society at large, and will remain in opposition to any expansion of its adoption"? Well, that guy's not in touch with the mayor. Keep listening. I'll drop his name later in the news broadcast. But the new Michigan cannabis industry rules are ready to take effect on June 22nd, but they'll launch without two contentious provisions. The labor peace agreement clause has been removed. It would have forced business owners to sign an agreement with labor unions to not obstruct employees who chose to unionize. The mandatory nature of the law was a deal breaker for a lot of Michigan's MMFLA and adult use business owners. Also out on the new regulations, requiring cannabis cultivators to sell to any licensed processor or provisioning center. Now that was designed to make the industry more fair and give access to the entire production of the market to independent retailers. But vertically integrated producers and sellers want to keep the product of their multiple stacked cultivation licenses all to themselves. Big business wins, little guys lose once again. How about smoking high-potency marijuana concentrates? It boosts the blood levels of THC more than twice as much as smoking conventional cannabis, but it doesn't necessarily get you any higher, according to a new study of regular users published by University of Colorado Boulder researchers. That's interesting stuff. Gus Burns, good guy. Gus Burns from MLive reports that Michigan added at least 32 drug recognition experts in just 2 months from January until the beginning of March. This comes as state police are expanding their pilot program designed to catch cannabis users and others who drive their cars. There were 125 drug recognition experts in Michigan as of January. Now there are 157, including 37 Michigan State Troopers, 36 deputies, 78 locals, 4 university officers, 1 tribal officer, and 1 motor carrier officer. This is the second wave of roadside testing experiments done by the Michigan State Police. In the first 100 tests, 74 roadside saliva tests indicated the presence of THC, but 11 of those people had blood tests, which said the roadside machine was wrong. Gus Burns reminds us that the results cannot on their own be used as evidence in determining if a driver was impaired. Bloomberg Tax just broke down all the adult use cannabis states and their tax structures. Did you know Maine passed adult use cannabis laws in 2016 and still doesn't have a regulated market for sales yet? Vermont did the same in 2018, still no retail sales. Same with New Hampshire. In 2014, the District of Columbia passed their legalization program, but they're covered by federal law. So sales and cultivation of cannabis not gonna happen. In states where they do allow sales of cannabis to adults, there are some pretty bizarre tax structures. Illinois charges a 7% excise tax plus a THC tax, 10% tax on products with less than 35% THC, 25% on flower with greater than 35% THC content. There's a 20% tax on infused products too. California charges a tax on leaves when they're sold. Alaska has a tax specifically on clones and a tax on trim. Maine even imposed a 30-cent per seed tax for their upcoming retail market. Wow, that's just gouging. Several sources cite Michigan as having the lowest tax structure of any state with an adult use market. You are very welcome. Let's talk about some events, huh? Have you ever wanted to smoke a joint with Marijuana Regulatory Agency Director Andrew Brisboe? Yeah, just hang loose, burn a bad bone with a big guy, chill out with a cannabis chieftain, pick his brain a little and, share with him some of your personal knowledge. Yeah. Well, you can't. Stop thinking about it. But what you can do is you can participate in something called a buzz session, a special conversation with Director Andrew Brisboe. Now that's on June 19th from 11 in the morning until noon. That's a Facebook broadcast you can participate in. Also on June 19th, a drum circle at the Psychedelic Healing Shack on Woodward Avenue in Detroit. That starts at 8 p.m. That is a very famous location. A couple of things happening on Sunday, June 14th, tomorrow. An online grow seminar with legendary cannabis breeder DJ Short takes place on both Facebook and Twitch. Now, that's sponsored in part by Ohm of Medicine and Grow Green MI. The proceeds from this event will go to a cool charity called the Prison Creative Arts Project. Now, that program sparks up at an appropriate time, 4:20 p.m. Also tomorrow, June 14th, is a Zoom session titled Pandemic Health, Democracy, and Defeating All Bigots. Wake up! Hosted by Dr. Detroit himself, Professor Mike Whitty. This event begins at 7 p.m. On July 18, the great folks at Northeast Michigan Normal are once again doing their highway cleanup. They'll be focused on US 23 near Tawas. Free t-shirts for the attendees, courtesy of the Botanical Company. Nice. The National Cannabis Industry Association is hosting a Cannabis Caucus cyber style on June 17. It's a 45-minute meeting. There's some social time before and after. You must register in advance. How about a social distancing and storytelling event in Ann Arbor? Sounds good. Sponsored by the Michigan Psychedelic Society? Even better! June 20, Argo Park. Contact Colin McDougall for more information. He didn't ask me to do that, but I'm sure he's going to get swamped. June 25 is the next quarterly review session for the Michigan Marijuana Regulatory Agency. It'll be held online via Zoom. Some handy info was posted by the Michigan Cannabis Defender Law Office, love those guys, and that can be viewed on the Facebook page titled Seeking 420 Events. If you're really looking for that up-close and personal cannabis event experience again, you'll find them in Michigan in July. On Oil Day, July 10, Buddy Dalton and his Clio Cultivation fire up that annual weekend bash he does. The outdoor jam features a medical tent for registered patients and music by, perhaps appropriately, Grateful Dead cover bands. On July 11th in Traverse City, a bunch of attorneys are sponsoring the 420 Cannabis and Hemp Expo. Tickets are still on sale via Ticket Tailor. Takes place at the Soaring Eagle Casino and begins at 9 a.m. Tickets are $69 for the one-day gig. All of the events I mentioned above can be found listed for free at the Seeking 420 Events page here on Facebook. As for podcasts, there's no end to them. Start off your Monday with Medical Mondays. That's each and every Monday at 9 p.m. on both YouTube and Facebook Live. Every other Tuesday, you can catch Benzinga's Cannabis Hour broadcast at 2 p.m. Now, the next broadcast starts at June 25th. On every Tuesday, you can catch Jazz Cabbage Cafe with myself and Jamie Lowell and the crew at 4 p.m., broadcasting live on Facebook. Jazz Cabbage is Michigan's most unpredictable cannabis podcast. Thursdays include Planet Green Trees at 8 p.m. on Facebook, and Friday, catch Darren McCarty on 760 a.m. WJR at 7 p.m. on the Real Radio. He talks hockey and cannabis during his 1-hour live broadcast. Cannabis Connection does some weekly broadcast stuff too, so check out their website as well. Finally, which lawmaker said that crazy phrase, "I continue to be opposed to the promulgation of marijuana and its usage in our state and in our society at large"? This far out-of-touch lawmaker is Senator Ed McBroom, who represents most of the Upper Peninsula. Yep, the leaping deer has a tick and it needs to be removed. Clean up on aisle McBroom, please. And that's the cannabis news for June 13th, 2020. I'm Rick Thompson. Catch me on Jazz Cabbage Cafe on Tuesdays or read my columns monthly in the Rolling Paper magazine. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.